There's our floor reporter, and we're looking at 189 pounds matchups. 1A, Pottebaum from Lawton Bronson and Eben from Central Lyon, Rock Rapids. 2A, Trey Clark going for his third from Union LaPorte City, Brewer, Dallas Center, Grimes. And our 3A, 189 matchup, Sean Stender, North Scott, going up against Doug Onstot from Indianola. And Jim was just showing me where Sean Stender from North Scott, there you see in the red ankle bang. He was third as a sophomore, second last year, and here he is with a shot to win it for North Scott. That would be their first champion in a while, I believe. I think that he would be somewhere in here.
He's been the first champion.
Trying to become his school's second state champion. He's the first. He'd be the first since Dave Kluver at 167 pounds in 1971. Almost 30 years since North Scott. What a great year they've had. They're in the team, the hunt for the team championships as well. Great year for North Scott Eldridge.
Sean Stender here in the red trims and the red ankle band here from North Scott. Indianola. Onstot is Doug Onstot here in the silver gray uniform. And you've got two nice looking physical athletes here. And again, just like the last week. Oh, what a whip over attempt there by Stender.
Oh, it's a good way to start for Stender.
Oh, man.
He wins it. First champion in 29 years for North Scott. He jumps into Jeff Neumeister's arms. And a minute 4, well, let's see, that's 56-second fall for Sean Stender. He wins it in big fashion over Doug Onstot from Indianola. Big win, and of course we will now be going to see maybe the class of the tournament in Double-A, Trey Clark.
And here you see a great whip over attempt here. Looks how he sets this thing up, Tim. He snaps the man down. Onstot post. Boom. Steps up and brings it over, and boy, I tell you what, that is tight. Man.
Well, it didn't take Bob Dream from Coralville, the official, long to slap the mat. And there's a reaction of Sean Stender from North Scott Eldridge. Hey, we're at 2A now with Trey Clark going for his third. He won it as a freshman. And won it last year as a junior. Going to go to the University of Iowa and wrestle next year. He's 33-0 this year. LaPorte City Union. And Joe Brewer, 25-1 from Dallas Center Grimes. Longtime coach Andy Davidson in his corner.
And Joe Brewer's had a good season here to get to this point. But he's up against one of the class wrestlers in the tournament here in Trey Clark. And we saw him wrestle a little bit last year in the state finals and won the state championship as a freshman and didn't place, had an injury, a football injury that he didn't quite come back from, and then won the championship again as a junior in dominant fashion. And what I've been impressed about, or what I've seen the last couple of with the talent here, is how many big guys are winning multiple state championships. And usually you see the old, like I was, a 98-pounder, maybe winning one and maybe adding multiple titles to that. But, how tough it is for these big guys who maybe haven't matured as much to win titles as underclassmen. That's just really impressive.
Oh, I think you make a good point. And, really it was Trey Clark that just busted through that wall a few years ago, because I've never seen a 171-pounder win the state championship as a freshman, and that's just what he did. And if Trey Clark wins his third title, that means he and Jeff Harrison and Jesse Sundell all won, and that'll bring the number of three-time champions since the Iowa High School Association began sanctioning the event in 1926 to 50. We have, if Trey Clark wins, that'll bring the number to 50 three-time state champions.
Does a great job of pinning a Brewer's hips to the mat. And he's using techniques here that can be successful at any level. He's got Brewer flattened out. Brewer doesn't want to come up too much or might wing that shoulder a little bit. Now look at him work for the wrist on the far side. We're trying to drive over hard. He's going to try to get Brewer's maybe hips turned first, and the shoulders will come. He's got the wrist tied up underneath, and now he's going to try to do a side tilt. The reason that technique's effective, he's got Brewer's wrist locked up underneath there. Brewer's a pretty tough customer, though. He's had a good season to this point. Only one loss on the season.
Scores 2-0 or 4-0 with start of the second period coming up. There's Dick Ingvall. We've talked about him, a long-time successful coach at LaPorte.
Really doing a great job with that program. And Trey Clark in the down position. Joe Brewer, strong athlete. Does a good job of picking Clark up. Now he's working into the cross-face cradle. Spiral ride type technique, and right here Trey Clark is feeling that, I've seen Brewer wrestle before. He's a nice, strong athlete, a well proportioned junior, and he's not going to give up and escape very easily. He may not be in this, may not be quite to the class you think that Trey Clark is with his experience and winning championships, but he's also an awful physical kid and coached very well. Andy Davidson at Dallas Center Grimes, I think, is one of the premier coaches in the state. And
he's done a great job at Dallas Center over the years. And one thing I notice here is Brewer is certainly up for the task. He's excited for the opportunity to be out there and trying to beat Trey Clark.
No question about it. And there's Andy on your left.
On the left-hand side there.
Yep, he's really schooled in the fundamentals. I mean, I've got one of his athletes that came out of Dallas Center Grimes, and Eric Volker. And Eric was really schooled well.
And he was a big wrestler.
Yep. And I think Eric has done some work with Joe Brewer, helping out with the kid programs and such, but doing a good job in the top position.
Yes, he is.
Riding Clark out. Almost a minute and 10 seconds worth of riding. I know he's not being real aggressive here, but he's got to have something he can build on to get his confidence up in this match. And sometimes controlling a man in the top position is something that will just do just that. And here we go with a stall warning. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, that's a point. I think from a confidence standpoint, it wasn't a bad decision to go ahead and ride him out. So there's a low single leg attempt here. Beautiful shot here by Clark. And here's that long reach that he has. And he'll test Brewer's flexibility here. He drops in on the low single and finishes, and he's back on top.
Boy, and he's got that arm bar and ready to crank again.
Yeah, he's a throwback to the old style, old school type wrestlers. You saw it in the 50s and the 60s where they just grinded out the whole time, and you'd be beating the heck out of the guy, and maybe the score was 3-0.
Well, as we approach the end of the match here, you see that Trey Clark wins his third, and he's the 50th three-time state champion. Those of you who are watching and might want to get a pencil, and we're going to give you an address again as we approach the end of tonight's big event. Head for Heavyweights to take the address down. Let us know what you thought of tonight's broadcast, of the whole year's series, both college wrestling and the state high school. You're looking at Trey Clark, three-time Iowa State High School champion. And 1A scores 10-9 in favor of Curtis Eben from Central Lion Rock Rapids, 31-1, trying to beat Pottebaum from Lawton Bronson, and he gets the takedown, and he does. So Curtis Eben beats the previously undefeated Jeremiah Pottebaum. No, wait a minute.
Yeah, I believe Pottebaum won that match.
Pottebaum, won for the 50th time.
Yeah.
There it is. For the 50th time there. 14-9, Pottebaum.
15 at 189 pounds, Jeremiah Pottebaum of Lawton Bronson is again a state champion. He was last year too. He decisioned 14-9 over Curtis Eben of Central Lions Rock Rapids. Neither man wanted to do any riding time. They both let each other up, so it was a series of takedowns and escapes. Back to the awards.
Let's go to Joe.
Robbie Crominga.
Okay, I'm with Trey Clark, the newest of the three-time state champions from Union LaPorte City. Trey, you were dominant in this tournament. Nobody scored on you. What are your feelings as you're going out the door here in your senior year?
I don't know. Kind of feels good. I just kind of wanted to get over with, a little pressure on me and everything, and
it feels real good, go out and go through the tournament dominant, and that's the whole plan, we're doing, being in wrestling and just being dominant, and that's all I want to do today.
Well, I think you're going to continue to do that as you go to the University of Iowa, so good luck in the future, Trey.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Now let's go to a heavyweight match, and we're going to show you the 3A, but also at 1A, Lander from Underwood and Christensen from Lennox will battle it out to see if Lennox can get back up to second place. Then Krominga and Iowa Falls and Conlon from Humboldt in 2A. We're going to look at Fouch and Sheddick. There.
Into the auditorium. Presenting the Class 1A 189-pound awards, Coach Jason Carlson of Lawton Bronson. Sixth place, Jeremy Kriegel, Iowa Valley Marengo. Fifth place, Ryan Baker, Southeast Warren Liberty Center. Fourth place, Willie Schrader, Riceville. Third place, Mark Sanger, West Hancock Brett. Runner-up, Curtis Eben, Central Lyon Rock Rapids. And the 1A 189-pound champion from Lawton Bronson, Jeremiah Pottebaum.
Well, let's go to Dean for a report.
Well, Tim, at Underwood
2A, it was Tom Conlon of Humboldt, 3-1 winner over Robbie Krominga of Iowa Falls. It was the fourth time these guys wrestled this year, and Conlon won for the third time.
Thank you, Joe. And, of course, the win by the Underwood heavyweight gives Don Bosco, keeps them in second, and Lennox
Presenting the
finishes
Class
third.
189-pound awards,
Let's
Coach
go to the
Jeff
awards.
Newmeister of North Scott Eldridge. Sixth place, Kyle Anderson, Lamar's. Fifth place, Chris Busing, Cedar Rapids Jefferson. Fourth place, Jonathan Taylor, Council Bluffs TJ. Third place, Chigosi Iasi, Prairie Cedar Rapids. Runner-up, Doug Onstot, Indianola. And the Class 3A 189-pound champion from Eldridge, North Scott, Sean Stender.
Well, Jim, he did it with an exclamation mark right there.
He really did.
Big pin in the first period, 56 seconds.
Beautiful whip over, and that was tight, Tim. That's the tightest pinning combination we've probably seen the whole finals.
It didn't take the official long to slap that mat. And he was third as a sophomore, second as a junior, and now first. And as we mentioned, North Scott's first state champion since 1971. So great feeling for Coach Jeff Newmeister. Now we're going to go to the heavyweight